Have you ever heard your name whispered when no one was there? Or seen something move in the corner of your eye, only to find nothing? Most people just laugh it off. But some whispers, they come from places that shouldn't exist. Welcome to Scary Nights, where your nightmares come alive. If you're watching this alone, you might want to turn on the lights, because what you're about to hear is true. Our first story is about the mirror that remembers. It begins with a young woman named Claire, who had just moved into a small, old apartment on the edge of Birmingham. She was excited for a fresh start, new job, new home, a whole new life. The building was ancient, but quiet, and the rent was surprisingly cheap. When she met the landlord, he gave her this odd smile and said one strange thing. "Whatever you do, never look into the mirror after midnight." She laughed. "Why?" she asked. He just stared at her for a long moment before replying, "Because it looks back." Claire figured he was just an eccentric old man with a strange sense of humor. But that night, she couldn't shake the unnerving feeling that someone was watching her. A sudden chill filled the apartment. Every little sound seemed to echo just a bit longer than it should have. Still, she brushed it all off as first night jitters until the clock on her phone flashed 3:03 a.m. She woke up with a jolt. Someone was whispering her name. Claire. She sat bolt upright in bed, her heart hammering against her ribs, her eyes darting around the dark room. It was empty, there was only silence. And then she saw it. The long hallway mirror was completely fogged up, as if someone had just stepped out of a hot shower. And right in the center of the glass, 3 words were slowly appearing. "Why did you come back?" The next morning, she tried to convince herself it was all a vivid dream, a nightmare brought on by stress. But that night, the whispers returned, always at the same time, always seeming to come from the direction of the mirror. Desperate for answers, she decided to record everything on her phone. At 3:03 a.m., she propped her phone up, hit record, and waited. Minutes dragged by. Nothing happened, and then a soft knock echoed from the bathroom. 3 distinct knocks. Slow. Deliberate. Her hands trembling, she grabbed her phone and crept toward the sound. As she got closer, the surface of the hallway mirror began to ripple like water. Her reflection started to smile, but her own face was a mask of terror. The phone slipped from her grasp and hit the floor. The last thing it recorded was the sight of her reflection, his hand reaching out from inside the mirror. When the police entered her apartment the next morning, they found the mirror cracked from the inside. Claire was gone. Her phone was still on the floor, its microphone still recording, and it had captured one final, chilling whisper. "Now you're with us." To this day, the apartment remains empty. The landlord stopped renting it out after 3 more tenants complained about hearing a woman's voice at 3:03 a.m. They all said the exact same thing. It wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from the mirror. Our next story takes us to a remote stretch of road in northern England that locals have dubbed the Endless Turn. It's a long, winding route that cuts through a dark, dense forest, a place that's always silent, foggy, and completely empty after midnight. Truck drivers swear their radios die there. Some say their engines stole for no reason. But one man, Daniel Moore, found out why. He was driving home late from work one rainy night, exhausted but trying to stay alert. It was just past 2:45 a.m. when his GPS glitched out and rerouted him down this narrow, unfamiliar forest road. At first, everything seemed normal, but after driving for a few minutes, he noticed something strange. The same broken tree on the side of the road kept appearing, again and again. It was as if he was driving in circles. He pulled the car over and checked his map, but the GPS insisted he was still moving forward in a straight line. The road signs were completely blank, and then he saw her, a woman, standing by the side of the road, wearing a white dress, completely soaked from the rain. Her head was tilted slightly, just a little too far to the side. A slow down rolled down his window and called out, "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. She just smiled, a wide, unnatural grin that stretched too far across her face. Then she whispered, her voice barely audible over the rain, "You shouldn't be here." Before he could even react, she vanished. Daniel panicked. He slammed his foot on the gas and sped down the road, desperate to get away. But no matter how fast or how far he drove, the same woman appeared again, standing in the exact same spot. Same white dress. Same terrifying smile. And every time he passed her, she was a little bit closer to his car. At precisely 3:03 a.m. His car's engine sputtered and died on its own. The headlights flickered, and the woman appeared right in front of his windshield. This time, her face was pressed against the glass, her dead eyes staring into his. She whispered, "You can't leave until someone replaces you." Daniel screamed, frantically, turning the key. The engine roared back to life. It florid, not looking back, driving as fast as the car would go. When he finally reached the lights of the city, it was dawn. He was shaking uncontrollably. But when he glanced at his rearview mirror, he saw a second face sitting in the back seat, smiling at him. He swerved, slammed on the brakes, and jumped out of the car. But the back seat was empty. Or so he thought, because when police found his abandoned car 2 days later, it was parked on that same forest road where he first saw her. The engine was still running. The driver's side door was wide open, and the GPS was still repeating one phrase over and over, recalculating route. The locals say if you drive that road after midnight, you might see her too. But whatever you do, don't stop the car. Because if you do, she'll finally have her replacement. If you've made it this far, you're either very brave or very lucky. Or very lucky. But remember, luck doesn't last forever. Did you feel something watching you while you listened? Don't worry. Most people do. Subscribe to Scary Nights, where every story comes from a truth no one dares to speak about. And the next time you hear your name whispered in the dark, don't turn around. Don't look for the voice, because it already knows exactly where you are.